Welcome to day 4 of ZenTen with Jackie Rose, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher with Rejuventangle, Rejuvenate with Zentangle. All right, so we are working on this beautiful piece, and we're going to start right away with this pattern here, and it is called Patena. Another Zentangle original pattern. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a grid. Now this is going to be a really interesting grid. So we're just going to mimic this line right here, kind of a nice curve, leaving some space, and then do that again. So thinking of a grid or a checkerboard, leaving some space and just drawing these lines to create a grid. Not too wide, not too skinny. Again, don't try to do it exactly like mine. Do it however you want. Your shape probably looks a little bit different anyways. So now I'm going to mimic this line here to start going the other way. So let's take a nice deep breath in. We didn't do that yet today. Sorry about that. And with each stroke, go nice and slow and relaxed. Focusing on being in the present moment. Watch how the ink goes to the pen. So now we have a grid. And we're going to do 2 more things to this grid before we actually put in the actual pattern. Well, the whole thing is the pattern, but there's more to this grid. So I find the easiest is to work with each section. So here we've got one section right here, right? And look at this point and this point and draw a line to that each point. So it's kind of like a diagonal. We're dividing this into triangles. And do the same thing with every section. So slow it down. Let's go nice and slow. This pattern will not take up a long time. So just really slow it down. And a lot of times when if you've taken classes with me, you hear me say slow down a lot. And a lot of it's I'm talking to myself because I notice that I'm going a little too fast. So let's take a nice deep breath in. And when we exhale, draw that line from point to point. These are not straight. They can be straight, but they don't have to be. It can be curved. Does not matter. Whatever you feel, just think about drawing a line from point to point, and how that line comes out does not matter. You can draw it as if it can appear as if you were drunk when you drew it. So it can be shaky, raggedy. There's no right or wrong here. Okay. Relax. Focus on being in the present moment. Notice how the pen feels in your hands. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, but now going this way, right? So let's go back to that same section, right, where we just drew this line. Now we're going to take the 2 points and we're going to cross right over like that. So it looks like an X, doesn't it? But that doesn't matter. So now pick another section, do the same thing. Now, if you go in a line, you'll see that this really is like another grid line, but I find it easier to go point to point in each section as you go. And you can turn your tile, and again, if you're not getting this, like if your eyes just play tricks on you and you're like, oh, it doesn't matter, just draw lines across. We're just doing it really does not matter. It's just a suggestion. Everything's a suggestion. And whatever you do is going to look fabulous, I'm sure. And over here, I'm just going to add some lines. I'm not even going to worry too much about what it looks like, just kind of giving it a few little whatevers to make it. I know it looks messy, but you'll see it's going to look better. If not, I can always put orbs over that or color that in or something. So here we are, and I'm going to just stall for a moment as you finish that up, as I'm sure many of you are still drawing. We still have time. Relax, slow it down. And now comes the real fun part of this pattern. And that is, we're going to start putting in some dots. And you really want to focus. So here's a little intersection. So I'm going to put in a little dot right there. And I'm going to go over it a few times. And then I'm going to go to another one right over here. And I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to make it a different size. It can be smaller or bigger. And that's what's cool about this pattern. So we're going to keep putting these dots in all these intersections, every intersection there is. So here's an intersection here, and I'm going to go real big this time, nice and big. Right? Here's another intersection, and I'm going to go small. Here's another one, I'm going to go medium. Small. And again, don't think much about it. Just start to put in these dots, focusing on each stroke, going around and around, coloring that in, knowing that you have the freedom to go as big as you want and as small as you want. And that's what makes this pattern, to make sure that these are all different sizes. You want some real small ones. You want some real big ones. And some medium ones. Don't think much. If all of yours come out to be the same size, that's okay. That's what you're meant to do. Whatever you're drawing, you are meant to draw. So I'm going to be quiet now, and I want you to start to really slow this down, because we've got at least 3 minutes left. Well, maybe 2. But like I told you before, I don't mind going over the 10 minutes. Anything goes in Zentangle, right? The most important thing about Zentangle, in my opinion, is to just relax, to get the benefits of meditation, not to get the design perfectly. And drawing slowly without worrying about what it looks like gives you the same benefit of meditation. It is meditation. And your mind will be clearer. You might just be a nicer person today, even more nicer than you were before, because I know all the people that take my classes are very special people, in my eyes anyways, and very kind. And this will just make it all better. So tomorrow we are going to shade all of these sections, because that is part of the Zentangle method. And if you've never shaded before, you're not sure what to bring for materials, I use a Zentangle pencil, but any pencil is fine. So whatever pencil you have, if you notice there's no eraser, because we do not erase in Zentangle. And then I have a tortillon, which is just a blending stick. And it doesn't matter what size it is. If you do not have a tortillon, just go get a Q-tip. I'm sure you have a Q-tip in the house, and that's all you will need for tomorrow's shading. So relax. Hopefully you'll continue tangling. You're welcome to add to anything we've done here. You might want to add more embellishments on your shaddock. You might want to, I don't know, you might want to do something of this. You can if something comes to you. And not much else well, who knows? If you feel, some people might put in little doodads or embellishments along the edge here. I'm just saying that if there's something else that you want to do with this, you are welcome to do it. Enjoy, have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for tangling with me today.